10,000 voices who can no longer speak for themselves. 10,000 faces that have faded from the earth. Together, we represent 500,000 children who died just last year alone. 500,000 children who died in sub-Saharan Africa from AIDS or HIV. What's more is most of them died without comfort, without an embrace, without love. So today, we're going to try to start to change that.
I want to welcome you here this morning to this very important inaugural celebration of the launch of the Diana, Princess of Wales Legacy Fund. While several of us, many of us in fact, have visited Africa and have seen the great need for compassion and end-of-life care, there is no one who knows it as much as our guest here this morning. Recognizing his countless selfless acts of kindness and support, the National Hospice Foundation presented him with their Humanitarian Award in 2006. Ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to introduce to you Archbishop Desmond Tutu. Please join me in welcoming him.
We have come to people who are world-renowned for generosity. We come to launch this fund because hospice and palliative care are desperately needed. I know we throw figures at you, statistics that are often lifeless. But maybe it does shock us a little if I say in my own country, South Africa, we have been burying 600 people a day. 600. That's something like 2 jumbo jets crashing every day. And we're not talking about numbers. It's the mother of someone. It's someone's daughter. It's the father. It's people of flesh and blood like you and me. And this Diana Legacy Fund is one that is going to want to be doing just that, helping to raise funds which are going to be used by the Foundation for Hospices in Sub-Saharan Africa. And I am so glad to be here because I know that I speak to those whose hearts are touched easily and who are some of the most caring, most generous people in the world. Raising these funds is a noble effort. The Diana Legacy Fund will raise these urgently needed funds to support hospice and palliative care programs in sub-Saharan Africa. It is a noble effort that deserves the support of all people of goodwill, such as those of my friend, your former President Bill Clinton.
I'm so pleased to join my great friends, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, Hugh Westbrook, and Carol Shields, for the launch of the Diana Legacy Fund. The fund is critical because it exists to support much-needed programs in sub-Saharan Africa that care for those living with HIV and AIDS. The Diana Legacy Fund will give dignity and compassion to patients when they need it most. The fund will help to alleviate their pain and suffering. It will support their families during their time of need. It will help to ensure that more people have access to compassionate end-of-life care. This is a critical effort. As many of you know, I do a lot of work to fight AIDS in Africa and across the globe. I know how important it is to give people every chance to live, and when they can't live anymore, to give them a chance to die in dignity and with the security of knowing their families and loved ones will be cared for. Your presence here today, your support for this important fund, will give Bishop Tutu, Hugh, Carol, and all the others who care about this the chance to succeed. It is a priceless gift of life and dignity, and I thank you.
Offering his support for the fund, I'm pleased to introduce a message from the Princess's dear friend, Sir Elton John.
Today, you have heard about the painful daily reality of millions of our friends in Africa from my esteemed colleague, Archbishop Tutu. While many of us understandably turn away from the pain and suffering in the world, my dear friend, Princess Diana, boldly entered into it. Inspired by her example, the Diana Legacy Fund embraces the historic role of Princess Diana in relieving suffering and giving vital attention to the hospice movement and the impact of HIV and AIDS. I would ask you with all my heart to support this essential work so that the Diana Legacy Fund can help alleviate the suffering of millions afflicted by this terrible epidemic in Africa today through your contributions. Thank you.
The Diana Legacy Fund is actually being made possible by permission through the Diana Princess of Wales Memorial Fund in London. I want to thank most sincerely the president and CEO of that corporation, Astrid Honeyman, the woman who's in charge of the palliative care program, Olivia Dix, and the trustees of the Memorial Fund for their confidence and support. This is the first time in the United States that the Diana Princess of Wales Memorial Fund in London is giving permission to raising dollars in Diana's name here in the United States, because they believe very strongly that it's the National Hospice Foundation, the Foundation for Hospice in Sub-Saharan Africa, who have the right mission, the right vision, and the right commitment to Diana's goals that we're allowed to do that. So I'm exceptionally grateful to them. Wonderful.